Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. I'm still recording in Florida, by the way. It is so nice here. I need to get outside. After this episode, I am going to lay by the pool, protect my skin. Guys, sunscreen is everything. When I was younger, I used to think it was cool to not wear sunscreen, and I used to try to get as tan as possible. Now that I'm about to be 31, I feel like my skin I need to what's the word? Slow down. I don't know. Delay the aging process as much as possible. I still look super young. I actually am very grateful. I get that a lot, that I have young skin or fresh skin or whatever. I look like I'm 12. I don't know. But I know that one day it's going to pay off for me. I can't wait to be the 50-year-old that looks like she's 30. That will be amazing. Anyways, my skin is very sensitive. I have sunburn in lots of places, but I am confident that I'm hoping, at least not confident, I would say I'm hoping that it turns to tan pretty soon, because on Sunday I plan on wearing a red dress, and I really don't want to look like that red dress. That would be not fun at all. Anyways, I am here in Florida. I just had a couple client calls, and then I'm going to go enjoy some sunshine. But on those calls, lots of stuff comes up. So I didn't say this on the last episode, and I probably said that. If you're struggling with your nutrition and you need that one-on-one support, you want to know who can guide you, how to be guided, do you want accountability? Do you want to get out of your own way? Do you want to figure out what your trigger foods are? How do you break the cycle of binging and emotional eating and overeating? It is so possible. It is really so possible. And the only thing holding you back, the only thing getting in the way of you being able to do that, is you allowing yourself to. It's filling out that application and working with a nutrition professional. So you are so close. The fact that you're listening to this podcast, it's amazing. And all you need to do is go to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching to apply to the program. You apply to the program, you schedule your discovery call, we get on a call and we talk about what's getting in your way and what it is that you need to be successful. Make sure that the program supplies that, provides that. Make sure it's a good fit. Make sure you understand that it's 6 months of working really hard, being introspective, being aware, getting rid of that all or nothing mindset, finding balance, just embracing overall health, wellness, your well-being versus solely looking at the number on the scale. If that sounds like you and that's what you want, chances are you'd be a good fit for the program. So I would offer you a spot to the program, and I would set you up with one of my dietitians, who are incredible, by the way. So obsessed with them. Just straight up obsessed. They are just extensions of me, but better. I love them. So go to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching to apply if that sounds like you. And one thing that you will learn is what we talk about on a lot of the stuff we talk about on the podcast are things that come up in conversation when working with a client one-on-one. And one of the things you'll definitely learn is how to manage your trigger foods. So I want to talk about that today. So in order to manage your trigger foods, you first have to identify what they are. Some people aren't aware, so do some digging, but some people are really aware. You know that if you have some ice cream, you can't just stick to a little bit of ice cream. A whole, one bite leads to the whole pint, right? Or the whole gallon, or whatever it is. For some people, it might be chips. For some people, it might be cookies. For most people, it's something that is sugary or salty, probably something that society, diet culture, or other diets you might tried have deemed as quote unquote unhealthy or bad or off limits or whatever it is. And so that definitely adds an extra added layer to why it's so hard for you to limit the portion and the amount. But beyond that, it often goes much deeper. So it might be as simple as maybe you're not eating enough. Maybe you need more, maybe you need to be eating like more balanced meals. Maybe you're not hydrating. Maybe you're not sleeping, right? So like there are things that just like naturally, if you're not getting adequate sleep, your body is going to crave sugar, right? If you're not eating, adequate fiber intake, you're going to be hungrier, and that's going to lead to bigger cravings. If you're not eating enough protein, your body's thinking like, oh, why aren't you giving me what I need, right? If you're not eating enough fruits and veggies and whole grains and lean proteins and olive oil and, like healthy fats, just all the things. If you're just not eating a healthy, balanced diet, you're going to have cravings. And it could lead to triggering you to eat certain foods and overeat them. So, but that's not what we're talking about today. So I just want to be clear. What we're talking about today is that emotional attachment to those foods, right? So one of my clients had shared with me, and I thought this was so incredible. This is one thing I love about this program, is it helps people to just be introspective and to just like dig deeper and to connect the dots and to understand. And that's amazing, because with understanding, with awareness, there's understanding. With understanding, we can create change, right? So it's just so, so powerful. So she had connected this scenario, and I'm not going to go too much in details because I do like to keep things confidential, but basically it was just like this super happy moment in her childhood when she was like 9 or 10 years old that she associated with having ice cream. And it was about connecting with a peer, and somebody that, it was like her crush. Like she had a crush at 9 years old, and they had this amazing moment together where they enjoyed ice cream together, right? And so she associates ice cream with joy and excitement, right? So now, sounds exciting, right? And I would say most people, when they think of ice cream, they think of joy and excitement, right? They have some positive associations to that. But what the issue is now is when she's having a really rough day, when she's feeling really just stressed out, tired, maybe bored, frustrated. I mean, I know a lot of people have definitely felt that with the pandemic and being on lockdown for so long and being limited of what you can do and who you can see. I know we're all kind of looking for some fun and excitement, right? And so what happens is she gets to those feelings, and those feelings lead to this trigger of wanting ice cream, right? But when we really think about it, does she want ice cream, or does she want joy? Does she want excitement? Does she want fun? I'm pretty sure I did another episode about this, about what you're really craving. And I think it really just goes to show that if we just dig a little deeper and we understand a little bit more, we can really start to elicit behavior change, right? So knowing your trigger foods and knowing the emotions associated to them is going to be what helps you. It's not about the food, right? She can still have ice cream and feel joyous. We that's the purpose of it, right? When we have something like ice cream or cookies or candy or sweets, right? We're not having it for the nutrition benefits. We're having it for the enjoyment of it. So it makes sense. At the same time, if it's the thing that she goes to every time that she's sad or every time that she's bored and she can't control the amount of it, that's when it becomes problematic. Right? So one thing that she thought she should do, and this is something I've taught in the past that can be helpful. The one thing she thought she should do is just not have it in the house, not have ice cream in the house. Now, because we're working together and she's enrolled in this program, I challenged her on that. I said, no, you have to leave it in the house, because if you don't, we're never going to learn how to manage it and how to deal with it, right? So, but she also has the other stuff established, right? She's eating 3 balanced meals a day. She's hydrating with water. She's moving her body. She's healing her relationship with food. She's about, I would say, 2 months within the program, right? So she has a ton of support, accountability, right? She has us to process it together, to talk about it, right? So for her to leave her trigger food in the house with all the support is what she needs to do, right? She needs to keep it there. If she doesn't, then we're going to have 6 months of a program where we never really learned how to manage her trigger foods, right? So it needs to be done. Now, if you're not working with a nutrition professional, if you're still working on the basis of things, you're still trying to form habits around simplicity of like going to sleep on time, drinking enough water, moving your body, then maybe for you, you don't leave it in the home. Okay, so you don't leave the ice cream, the cakes, the cookies, the chips, whatever it is that triggers you, you don't leave it in the home. Now with that, it does not mean that you're done, right? We still got to process things. Now what I want you to do is when that urge to go out and buy a pint of ice cream, or that urge to get the bag of chips and just kind of numb out, right? Or whatever it is, I need you to ask yourself this question. Is it the food that I'm craving? Or is it the emotion that I'm craving, right? What is this food associated with? Maybe it's a childhood memory. Maybe it's an adult memory. Maybe it's just an experience or an association, whatever it is. What is the emotion that I'm craving? Because 95% of the time, it's not about the food. It can be about the food. We can make it about the food. However, if you struggle with knowing how to portion it, if you're still stuck in the diet mindset, if you're still stuck in that all or nothing mindset, if you're still stuck in believing that cakes and cookies and sweets and chips and all those snack foods or whatever are not what you would probably call quote unquote junk food or dirty foods, right? And I'm using air quotes because that is not how we talk about food. Food is food. If you're still stuck in that mindset, I need you to practice allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to have those foods before an emotional situation, right? Practice having those foods in the middle of the day. Practice having those foods with your lunch. Practice having those foods with your dinner. Practice having them in a portioned amount and make it pre-decided. And that's whether you're working with me or not. I think that's a super, super helpful tip. But especially if you struggle with these trigger foods and your emotional eating and all that, then I think that your best bet, if you're not working with a nutrition professional, is to not keep them in the home. But when you decide to have them, when you get that urge to have that chocolate at 3:00, have the chocolate. Go out, buy the chocolate, get a pre-portioned amount, have it, be done with it, right? Rather than denying all these cravings, all these sweets, all these things, and then leading till nighttime. And with that, always ask yourself, what is the emotion associated with this food? What is it that I'm looking for? If you're looking for energy, maybe you need a nap, right? If you're looking for fun, maybe you got to schedule something with your partner or schedule something with a friend. If you're looking for just a moment to just like check out and not think, go for a mindless walk, right? Do something that you really need versus going for what you think that you want in the moment, right? Dig a little deeper. All right. All right, I think we covered most of it. So if you're interested in working with a registered dietitian and really getting a more individualized approach, more support, really kind of uncover the layers below what's going on with your relationship with food, where are these trigger foods coming from, where did they come from, how do you manage them, then you might be a good fit for our program. So I want you to please go apply. It is necessary for you. It is literally right in front of you, your ability to be just like living literally a totally different life than you ever pictured, imagined, depicted, or maybe you thought about it, but you've never taken action on it in a helpful way, in a realistic way, not a quick fix, diet-like way, then this program is probably a good fit for you. So I want you to go to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching, watch the video about the program, fill out the application below it, then schedule your discovery call, then watch another video. It's a lot of information, but it's so helpful and so necessary for you. So you know what to expect for the call, so that on our call, we could talk about what to expect for the program. So it's so clear for you that in 6 months, you will have your trigger foods managed. You will have your relationship with food healed. You will have your emotional eating managed, your binge eating managed. You will just be so clear on how to take care of you that you never have to diet again. That is the ultimate goal. So if that sounds like you, that's something that you want, go to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching to apply today. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.